at a certain point, I began to actually realize or recognize that when I take my seat in the morning on my zafu and zabuton, it's not out of habit. It's not one more thing I have to squeeze into my day to belong to a certain kind of community or sangha, or to think a certain kind of thing about myself. I came to realize that it's a radical act of sanity to actually take some time by the clock and stop all the doing. And no matter how worthy the doing, and drop into being for some stretch of time. It's a radical act to actually inhabit the domain of being, of non-doing. It doesn't shut anything out. It doesn't suppress thought or emotions or the challenges and stresses and suffering and pain that we experience in life. But it just allows us to pause for a moment and just drop in and actually take refuge. So I began to realize that taking my seat in the morning is a radical act, not only of sanity, but actually a radical act of love. That it's an expression of belonging and an expression of a certain kind of trust, a worthy, dependable, reliable, trusting in the domain of being and its capacity to influence all the actions that flow out of any moment when we allow or invite or exercise the possibility or train ourselves to let our doing come out of our being. And then while sitting on the cushion, metaphorically and literally, in whatever ways you practice formally, is absolutely essential. Just like violinists in the greatest symphony orchestras, they all tune their instruments before they play, even though they have great instruments and they're playing great music and they're wonderful musicians, they still tune the instrument. And so there's a certain way in which the taking one's seat is a tuning or an affirming of the need and possibility to tune. And at the same time, from the perspective of the sort of non-dual Prajnaparamita Heart Sutra element, we actually embody and know in the deepest of ways in our heart that there's no place to go. There's nothing to do in the domain of being. And there's no special something to attain because everything is already attained, and this moment is insanely special in every way, including the amazing complexity of the body and our interconnectedness, the chlorophyll with the hemoglobin and every other ways in which our eyes work, our ears work, our nose works, our tongue works. I mean, all of the various senses, including the sense of embodiment, proprioception, interoception. So we're all miraculous beings. We're all Buddhas. There's no contest. There's no way in which anybody could deny that.